What's up, everybody? I'm Terzel Ron. Welcome back to Debate the Hype. This is Young OGs, a segment best defined by the young OG himself, Fabulous, on his song, Young OGs. There's two types of people in this world, the ones with the guns and the ones with the butter. The ones with the guns own stocks, bonds, real estate, things that appreciate in value. The ones with the butter own a bunch of fly shit, cars, sneakers, clothes, you name it. The guests on this show have a little bit of both. This is Young OGs, sponsored by Soul Over Gold. For the first episode, we have the influencer who influences influencers, TMarkgotkickss. What's up, man?
What's going on, man? Appreciate you
Now,
having
my
me,
first
man.
question is naturally,
Yes.
when did TMarkgotkickss start to get kicks?
TMarkgotkickss, when he first started getting kicks, it had to been, I was a young lad, I ain't gonna lie. I got two older brothers, so naturally and by default, my mom used to get me sneakers then. So I had kicks back then, dogged them, wasn't appreciating them because I was not paying for them. I started appreciating shoes when I bought my first pair of sneakers, the LeBron 25 5s with my own money.
How old are you?
I was still in high school. I want to say I was probably like fresh out of in high school. I'm gonna say like 14. Maybe 15. Yeah. I was getting allowance, saving it.
Blowing it?
Yeah, like blowing it. I saved it for like, I want to say like almost a month maybe, and then just bought a pair of sneakers in the Bronx. And I ended up hooping in them.
Right.
I ended up hooping in them, but you know, that was the first shoe I bought with my own money, and definitely started appreciating shoes more when I started buying them more. So,
Learning the value of $1.
yeah, 100%.
So when did you start like collecting them on a serious tip?
I started collecting, I want to say, probably my junior, senior year of high school. Like I want to say, I started like collecting and started separating my basketball sneakers to the sneakers like, all right, I'm gonna get fresh in these.
Right, because you don't want to crease the ones you get fresh in.
Yeah, 100%. But, you know, it was a point in time where basketball sneakers was the go-to shoe to wear as well. Like, you had Kobe's, you had LeBron's, you had certain shoes that was the go-to shoes, even KD4s and stuff like that. People was wearing those with fits. Like, even if it was in the summer, some cargo shorts, you was throwing some LeBron soldiers on or something like that. So definitely having to find ways to separate the two. But like what helped me was getting like into Air Max and stuff. So when I was getting into Air Max, I knew I wouldn't hoop in the Air Max. So I knew I would have that longevity and I would take care of that shoe as well. So.
Now, what's the difference between collecting sneakers and collecting hats? Because as you can see on the table, there's a bunch of fitteds on the table right now. So what's the difference with collecting those?
Oh man, collecting sneakers and collecting hats. Now, there's a big difference. I mean, sneakers right now, you can just jump on the app, right? Hats is like, it brings you back to that time when you was a kid and you had to hunt because you have to go to these mom and pop stores and you know, like every website is not gonna have the hat you want, or if they do have it, are they gonna have your size? So it just brings you back to that time where you actually had to put the feet work into it and actually go out and go to these stores and go to other boroughs or go hit your man up that lives in another city that they might have that hat in as well. So right now, like hats is at the forefront. The hunt for it. Me personally, I'm a Yankees fan. My step-pops bought me my first Yankee hat when I was younger. And ever since then, like that was my favorite hat.
Right.
So when I got back into fitteds, you know, I wanted to collect every World Series Yankee hat. So the hunt for that was just so crazy. But
so the difference with these hats are based on the World Series.
I mean,
break it down for me.
Yeah, overall, like for me, you know, that was the first thing I did. The first thing I did was let me try to get all 27 World Series Yankee hats.
Right.
Then it went from oh, they got years that they lost too. Let me try to track those down. So it's like with that, but then, you know, I came up with an idea. It was like, yo, how can I put my twist on the hat? You know, New Era, they sell blank Yankee hats, and I was a fan of, like, I'm a fan of 90s, early 2000s hip hop.
Yeah, for sure.
And, you know, Jay-Z's my favorite rapper. Nas, you can't forget certain people, what Rough Riders did and what Wu-Tang did, even before Jay and them, and what Bad Boy did. And being from New York, like, these are all New York City, you know, icons. These are icons in music in general. Like, no matter what the age is, you know about Jay-Z. If you listen to music and you study music, you know about certain people. So I did a lot of research. I did a lot of, you know, I was just trying to find out as much information as possible. Has it been done before?
Right.
And it's never been done before. So I wanted to put my twist to a hat and build a connection with the people, because it's like, the Yankee hat is a staple, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So how do I combine this iconic record label or this iconic artist with this iconic logo? For me, simplicity is key. So I'm so used to the World Series, like we're going back to World Series hats, the side patch. Like the side patch was so important to New Era, and it was so important for fitteds.
Right.
Because the blanks was like, all right, the blanks. But when they started giving me the side patches, it became like a whole different hat, because there was so many side patches. Like, even with any team besides the Yankees, you got LA Dodgers, you got the Red Sox, you got every team that has certain patches that just makes it a different hat. So how I built the connection was, I was doing research, finding old photos of, just say Rough Riders. I was finding old photos of the locks
in the archives,
in Yankee apparel. Or like Wu-Tang, they did a whole shoot with Yankee stuff on. Rockefeller, Jay-Z always had a Yankee hat on.
Right.
So I built that connection, and I was like, all right, well, this is how I'm going to tie the two. I'm going to do baseball cards, but I'm going to have baseball cards with the artists with the Yankee stuff on. And then in the back is going to be the people that was a part of that label or part of that crew or something like that. So that's how I tied the two with, you know, baseball and hip hop. And because it's never been done, because when you think of baseball, they got uniforms on, they're on the field. You didn't think about fashion, or you didn't think about rap when you thought of baseball. That was more so, you know, basketball, maybe football here and there, but it was more so basketball because it was the connection.
Now, you mentioned before that your quest was to collect all the World Series hats. Now, I saw your Instagram post from a few months ago, and you probably had about 70 to 80 pairs of fitteds lined up. Did you collect all of the World Series hats yet? For the Yankees?
I have all of the years they won, yes. Some of the hats didn't get approved by like New Era, like the years they lost.
Yeah.
So most of the years that they lost that came out to the public, I do have. And then it just started transcending into different teams like LA and the White Sox and Cleveland Indians. That's my second favorite hat, the Cleveland Indians hat. But I just started doing my own hats, and then it started growing. Then, you know, people started gravitating to it, and I started doing more hats. So now I got to be creative now, because I'm dropping my hats, and, you know, I switch up the colors, or I switch up another label or artist I haven't done before, something like that. So all of those hats, it took a lot of time, effort, me, you know, building relationships with hat stores and stuff like that. So
like I said before, you influence the influencers. But who are some of your biggest influences?
For fashion, I probably want to say Kanye when he was with Nike.
Right.
When he was with Nike, you know, what came under that umbrella was him. Big Sean before he signed with Adidas,
Yeah.
Wale, Kid Cudi, Currency. Like those are the people, you know, because that's when streetwear was meeting high end too. Like you would throw a BBC shirt on with some YSL jeans or something like that, and that era was so simple. Like you could just throw on a basic streetwear tee that didn't have to be loud or didn't have to be crazy expensive, and throw on some good denims and some fire Nikes or Jordans or something like that. And that era was just crazy. And I felt like Kanye was the most versatile in that era. Like he didn't showed up to Paris Fashion Week with a blazer, some jeans, and some Jordan 1s. Like a lot of people wasn't doing that. Like he kind of rescinded the Jordan 1s. Like people might not give him that credit, but people wasn't wearing Jordan 1s when they was dressing baggy. That's just the facts. Like when clothes started getting slimmer, then that's when people started wearing Jordan 1s. And Cudi and Ye and, you know, Don C, all of those people, they like kind of brought that back to the forefront, like in fashion.
Right. So
But
Kanye?
Kanye fashion-wise, personal, you know, I have two OGs that I look up to near and dear that, you know, embrace me like a younger brother, and I look at them as mentors, and that's DJ Clark Kent and Mayor.
Right.
And then, you know, personal, I want to say my boy Reem, Munch. These are people, you know, I build relationships with throughout the years, and any advice, they'll be honest with me, and that's the type of people I like to keep around me. Honest people. I don't like yes men people around me, and I need people to just give it to me straight up. Like if I did something that offended them, like let me know, like or anything in that nature where it's like just being honest with me. So those are probably like influences for me. Hats. I feel like I didn't really have an influence for it. I just seen there was a lane that was opening up for it, and I just wanted to be different. So I feel like for that lane, I kind of just used my creative mind and just created something that was just dope. Like even, I want people to talk about these hats 10, 20 years from now. Like I was the first person to do it. I've been told that by people from New Era, so it was just like a blessing to have something like this, create something like this that people love.
Right. And last question is, you know, there's a lot of people who are interested in sneakers and sneaker culture and even collecting items. They're very passionate about it. But what is one piece of advice that you can give them to monetize their passion?
Just buy and collect what you like. Don't follow, you know, the masses. Don't be a sheep. Like, you know, you got to find your niche. You got to find what works for you, what you really like, because it's a lot of time, effort, and money that goes into collecting stuff. So you don't want to do that, collect it 2 years, 3 years from now, you just done with it. Like you see so many things, like even with sneakers, like you see people jump on a wave, and then when that wave is over, it's kind of like, oh, okay. Or even with fashion, like I hate to bring up names and stuff like that, but people follow entertainers. Entertainers could afford to change their whole wardrobe every year or every other year. When you know, you're a person that's trying to keep up with them, like it's hard because when you're trying to keep up with them, they have the resources, they have the money to just switch with the trends. Like a lot of people don't. Like something like Balmain's, right? Like Balmain's was on top of the world for a minute with jeans, and then other brands started doing biker denim, and people couldn't tell if, those are fake Balmain's. Like, nah, biker denim doesn't belong to Balmain.
Right.
It's just a style of denim. But the way things are, like once a rapper jumped off and started wearing Mike and Mary's, like nobody cared about Balmain's anymore.
Cough, A Boogie, cough.
Yeah, I mean, not to even throw no names out there, but that's gonna happen with Mike and Mary's as well. Like, and for me, I'd rather just buy essential pieces, something that I know 5 years from now I would wear it.
Right.
10 years from now I'll wear it. Like I'll wear this for the rest of my life because it's simple. It's not loud. It's not trendy. It's not big logos everywhere and stuff like that. So that was just me growing up because I was a person that was wearing Pelly jackets and wearing BB Simon belts in 2007 and there's a lot of stuff I done bought that I don't even know where it's at. Or if I gave it away or something like that. And it's just like, that's how fashion is. It's like trends. That's why every season, you know, these brands do something different. Like, for example, Gucci, right? I don't see anybody wearing anything with the snakes and stuff that they was going crazy for 2 years ago.
Right.
I don't see it because it was a trend and it was over.
Yeah.
So, I mean, fashion-wise, you know, buy what you like. Don't just buy it because you see an artist with it, or you see an entertainer with it, or you see the drug dealer on your block with it on. Like, or because it's expensive and you hear your favorite rapper on the radio talking about it. Like, you gotta buy what you like. You gotta buy what you can afford. But also, you know, building an outfit is not just about one item. It's not about one piece. And that's what we was talking about off camera, where it was like the sneakers, right? People on Instagram didn't evolve. Like people just people just kept taking sneaker photos.
Yeah.
And it becomes stagnant, and then you just start losing your followers now. Because now Instagram, a lot of people's page is public. So I don't have to follow you. So when people follow you, they follow you for a reason.
Right.
So if your page is public, that's kind of like hurting your page as well, because everybody's not going to press that request button and wait for you to accept them. So Instagram, you know, it can hurt your brand or it can help your brand, depending on if you evolve, if you don't evolve. So you just got to evolve with the times. I feel like I did really well with that. I think, you know, I was known for sneakers. That's why my Instagram name is TMarkgotkickss, right? So me being known for sneakers is just like there's more to me than sneakers. Like people meet me, they're like, oh, I didn't even know he was cool like that, or he was funny, but it's because I was just taking photos of my shoes. Like that's it. Like, oh, he got sneakers.
There's different layers.
Yeah, so it was just like doing that. I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna start taking full body shots, showing my outfits. Then it was just like, okay, people started gravitating to a little bit. My sneaker-based followers really didn't care for it.
Yeah.
But then started doing grids. It's like, oh, okay, now it's another audience that's tapping in. And then the hats, like now it's just all coming together. Yeah. Like the hats is part of fashion. Clothes is part of fashion. Sneakers is a part of fashion. The hats that I'm doing is still a part of fashion because these hip hop artists are a part of fashion. Like these crews are a part of fashion no matter what. So I feel like it's all under the same umbrella. People just got to learn how to evolve.
Yeah, man, you put it the best way that you can. You got to learn how to evolve for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
TMark, thanks for sitting in and dropping gems on Young OGs. Make sure to follow us at Debate the Hype. Like, share, comment, and subscribe.
Perfect.